Yo, what's going on, gentlemen? Today I'm back with a new video and I'm gonna be making a beat for TRIPPIE REDD and Juice WRLD. If you guys did not know, TRIPPIE REDD just dropped an album that sort of inspired me to make this video because I really liked the production on it. So before we get into this video, if you guys would do me a favor and follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 3K, so it would be greatly appreciated if you guys could drop me a follow. So with all that being said, let's get into this video. So for this beat, I'm gonna be using a loop called Villa from my sample library volume 2. The only changes I made to this loop is I just pitched it down a tiny bit, so it sounds like this. Alright, so the first thing I think that I'm gonna add is an 808. So I think I'm gonna use the 808 called a Watch Out from my Formula drum kit. So when I draw on my 808s, I like to draw them in at a super high octave just so I can hear the note better. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to EQ all the low frequencies out of the melody just so it's not clashing with the 808. Alright, so in TRIPPIE's new album, I noticed they used a lot of perc snares. So I'm going to use the snare called Minus from my Formula drum kit because it's a perc snare sound and I think it'll sound dope with this beat. So, and I think I'm going to use the hi-hat called Everyday from my Formula drum kit as well. And I'm going to turn this out knob up a little bit, and basically what that does is it makes the hi-hat a little bit more clicky and just a little bit tighter. So for the hi-hats, I drew in a pretty simple pattern. I didn't want to go too crazy with them since we're kind of making the beat at a faster tempo, if that makes sense. Alright, so for the kick, I'm using the kick called Comma from the Formula drum kit. This is one of my favorite kicks, so. Now I got the diplomatic snare, also from the Formula drum kit, and I'm just going to use it to add a little bit of bounce in the beat. So I actually decided to pitch the whole track down one semitone, so it sounds like this now. And I'm gonna bring this note up. That just adds some variation, and it's also kind of a deep note, so it makes it more clear. I'm also gonna add this bongo perc from the kit as well. And then lastly, I'm gonna add this open hat from the drum kit. Is called the Spaceship Open Hat. Alright, cool. So basically we have the beat done and all that's left to do is arranging it. So I think I'm gonna have the beat start off with this part of the loop, and I'm gonna make the first part of the hook without the vocal chop part, and then the second half of the hook with it. I'm also going to take out the kick for the pattern of the first half of the hook, and then have the kick come in the second half. So since I decided to pitch the sample down, that kind of leaves a lot of empty space for the higher end part in the melody. So for the second half of the hook, to switch it up a little bit, I'm gonna pitch the same sample all the way up and then layer it over the old sample. So to do that, all you have to do is right click on this little icon on the melody and then press make unique. So that way you can pitch this up and it won't affect any of the other melodies on your timeline. So to give the beat a little bit more variation, I'm gonna add a filter freak on the part of the melody that's pitched up. And I'm gonna use the step up down preset and change this to half note. So now it sounds like this. The dry wet up. So I just did that to make the hook a little bit more interesting. Alright, so for the verse, I'm gonna start off with this part of the loop where it's just the background guitar playing, and I'm gonna make this pattern unique, and I'm gonna make it so the 808 comes in a little bit late, like this. And then I'm gonna make a section where it's just the kick without the 808. And then a section where it's 808 only. Now that I have the verse done, all I'm gonna do is highlight all this and copy and paste it a couple of times so that the intro is now a bridge before the hook. And then for the last hook, I'm gonna make the outro the melody without the vocal chops. So now that the beat is finished, all I'm gonna do is master it. So I'm gonna use the technique from my How I Make My Drums Knock video. Alright, so I think it's safe to say that this beat is pretty much finished. I'm gonna let you guys hear the final product real quick. So there's the finished beat for you guys. The link for the only drum kit I used in this video will be in the description below, along with the link for my loop kit or sample pack where the melody came from. Hope you guys enjoyed this video or maybe even learned something from it. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my post notifications so you'll know when I post. With all that being said, thanks for watching. I'm out.